Hey everyone, welcome to Disney Movie Reviews. I'm Mr. Lane. Alongside me here is Miss Emily as always. And this week we are talking about our top 5 Disney songs. So Miss Emily, this was a super hard list to make this week because there's so many good songs.
Yes.
And of course I was reminded of all those songs this week as I watched the Disney Family Sing-Along. Hope all of our friends watched it too. So that just made it even tougher for me because I got reminded of all those really good songs. Did you have any problems with your list?
I did, but I just was like, I just gotta go with my gut about, it doesn't mean anything as regards to the movie or the character, it's just the song. The song. What does it make me feel? Yeah. Is it good? Yes, they're all good, but these are the best of the best, I think.
Absolutely, and we didn't give any criteria for this, but one thing I try to do is I try not to double up. So I try not to pick multiple songs from the same movie.
Nope.
I try to stick to just Disney movies and not
animated
songs that are in the Disney parks because that was very hard for me too. So, but I do have an honorable mention, which is from the theme park, which is called "Happily Ever After." It's the song that's in the fireworks show at Magic Kingdom. It's so good and it makes me really emotional every time I hear it, and so. Super good song, but it's not in a movie, so couldn't really feature it in the list. So, what is your honorable mention?
My honorable mention is just because I didn't want to do the same movie twice, and so this is from a movie that is on. It's on my top 5, but I had to pick between these two songs. It's "Go the Distance" from Hercules, just because it's super good, just not quite top 5. But maybe someone else's top 5. Maybe your top 5. Not mine, but still really good.
That is a very good song. I like that.
You ever run to it? Go on a run to go the distance?
Yes.
Motivation. That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Great workout song. That's what we're going for, is great workout songs.
Great workout songs.
Too. All right, so now we got our honorable mentions out of the way. Time to get into the list. So, Miss Emily, what is number 5 on your song list?
Number 5 for me is "Be Our Guest" from Beauty and the Beast. It is so good, both in the animated and in the live action. I know that you have feelings about the live action, but it's very good. And that was one thing that I'm like, if they don't do a good job, the live action is trash. I don't care. But they did a great job. It is a super fun musical number. You cannot listen to this song and be in a bad mood. You just can't. It's very good.
It is
super good. Lumiere slays.
Mr. Lane did that song for Disney Sing Along one of the first weeks I was here. There's a lot of words in that song.
Yes.
A lot of words in that song.
Lots of French
it's hard
food.
to sing along with that. Yeah, a lot of French words in that song. Mr. Lane does not know French very well. That's a great choice.
Very happy song.
My song for number 5 is a newer song. It's "Remember Me" from Coco.
Oh, I love that.
But it's the duet version that's in the end credits. So it's the one with the artist named Miguel. It's kind of confusing because Miguel's also a character in the movie. But so it's by Miguel, and I don't know the lady who sings on it too, but she sings in Spanish, and it's just so good. They balance it out really well. Yes, so I love it. It's a newer song, but it's one that has quickly become my favorite, and that's why it was at number 5. Just because it is kind of new.
Not quite a classic, but
not quite yet.
If you haven't seen it, watch Coco.
Yes, watch Coco on Disney Plus. It's awesome. All right, Miss Emily, so what is number 4 for your list this week?
Number 4 for me is "Part of Your World" from The Little Mermaid.
Okay.
That this is probably the it song, I think, from The Little Mermaid. It's super good. Little Mermaid was my favorite movie when I was 5, so you best believe I was singing this song every time we were in the car. And every time I just had some free time and wanted to just be dramatic and sing. So it is super good. It still holds up today. I still think it's very good. Watched it with my nieces a month ago. Very good song. Love it a lot.
I love that song, and shameless plug here. May or may not be a song that's coming out on Disney Sing Along with Mr. Lane sometime soon. So, who knows? Could come up pretty frequently. I love that song, though.
Has a lot of feelings.
All the feels with that song. Okay, number 4 for me is Why Should I Worry from Oliver and Company.
It's a good song.
And the reason why I picked this one is because when I was a kid, I used to sing that song all the time. I loved that movie growing up, and I remember I would just like want to watch it on repeat because it was such a good song. Billy Joel sings it. I love Billy Joel, so that kind of helped it as well. But it's just such a fun song.
Very fun song.
So that immediately grabbed my attention as like a little kid, and so I loved it. So number 4 for me.
Yes.
Miss Emily, what is number 3 on your list for this week?
Number 3 for me is I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan. And that is just because everybody knows that song. Like, you play that song, everybody in the room is singing that song. It is a super good musical number from that movie, and it's really intense, and it really gets you going, and it's and it's just, it's upbeat in a way, even though it's very intense, and he's like, they're singing about war and all of these hard things that they're doing, like in the musical montage, but very inspiring.
Oh, that's a great choice, Mr.
Kind of
Lane.
the essence of the movie.
Mr. Lane did that song on Disney Sing Along, so obviously I really like that song too. Hoped I made a man out of everyone who watched, but who knows. Alright, so number 3 for me, Miss Emily, is actually from a live action movie. I kind of went off course a little bit.
That's fine.
Went rogue a little bit, but of course this is my show, so I can kind of do what I want. But
this is true.
It's Life's a Happy Song from The Muppets, and it's one of the first songs in the movie, I think. I don't know if it opens the movie. I can't really remember. It's been a minute since I've watched it, but I love that song. It's a lot of fun. There's just like a lot of different parts and people coming in and out, and there's a lot of like cameos in it, which is really cool too, like like famous actors and stuff like that. So it's a really fun moment in the movie too. So I love that song. It might be one that I'm trying to work on a special project for Disney Sing Along with Mr. Lane. It's very complicated though, so don't know if I'll get that one done, but it's a lot of fun and it's one that I want to do. So, but yes, it comes in at number 3.
It's a good song
for me. So we're in the top 2 now. Miss Emily, what is number 2 on your song list for this week?
I would be remiss if I did not pick a song from Tarzan as my number 2, and it was difficult because I really like all of the songs in Tarzan. That is a fantastic soundtrack. And I went with Strangers Like Me because it is super good. It is one of the upbeat songs of the movie, which most of the songs from the movie are upbeat, which is helpful when choosing them. But I just really like Strangers Like Me. I like the scene from the movie where they're singing that song where he's just learning all about just the culture that he's never really been a part of. And I just think it's very cute, very sweet, have some sweet moments. I love it. It's really good.
Oh, I like that song.
Really, really good. Phil Collins.
No, and that's such a cool part of the movie too. Like you said, he really learns a lot there about himself and what it means to be human. So that's a great song that means something. Yes, as well in the movie. That's a great choice for number 2 though. Number 2 for me is actually the song I just did last week for Disney Sing Along with Mr. Lane. That is Friend Like Me from Aladdin. I love that song.
It's really good.
Oh, pretty much every version of that song too, because it's been covered multiple times now on different albums and different movies. And so I love every version of that song though. It's a lot of fun. But of course, the original version with Robin Williams will always be my favorite.
Supreme.
Another song with a lot of words.
Yes.
And a lot of words in that song. But
sung very quickly.
Yes, sung very, very quickly, and it's hard to keep up. But it's a lot of fun, and it's high energy, and it's such a great part of that movie too. So I love Friends Like Me. Now we get to the top of the top songs, Miss Emily. What is number 1 on your song list?
Number 1 on my list, number 1 in my heart. It's from Hercules. I wish I could put every song that's in Hercules at my number 1, and we'll just say off the record that that is the case. But I'm gonna go with Zero to Hero because that just to me is the song of that movie. Every single song in that movie slaps. It's very good. I just said slaps in a kid's video. That's funny. But Zero to Hero is just It is like, that's his goal. That's what he wants to be. He wants to be a hero. And so that song is just talking about and singing about how he's reaching that goal of what he thinks he needs. And it's just good. And the Muses sing it in that movie, and they're just on top of their game. I know you said Ariana Grande covered it in the Disney sing-along, and I'm sure she did great.
So
That's a great song. That is the song of the movie, and
it's so good.
I'm only ever smiling when I'm singing it.
No, that's a great choice. I love all the songs from Hercules as well. None of them made my list, but that is one of like a really good soundtrack.
Top
so
notch.
that is a great choice for number one. Number one for me is another song from Tarzan, but it's a different song, and it's "You'll Be in My Heart."
Oh.
Probably my favorite song
Very emo.
of all the songs. Yeah, it brings out all the feels, all the emotions. It's one of the songs that me and my mom really like a lot, so we'll usually sing it in the car together, like if we're on a trip. So we love that song a lot. So it just means a lot to me. Personally, Tarzan's one of my favorite movies. I used to watch that all the time as a kid, so it just always is at the forefront of my mind when I think of Disney songs. I think of that one. So that's number one.
No, it's really good.
Well, Miss Emily, that is the end of our list. I'm a little surprised, though, that no song from Tangled ended up on your list.
It came really close.
But I think your list is really good.
Thank you.
Of course, I feel really good about my list as
Yes.
well. So that'll be the end of this week's episode, though. Make sure to like us on Facebook. Make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And comment if you have any ideas for any topics that you would want us to talk about on a future episode of Disney Movie Reviews. But for now, that is all that we've got. So we hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.